Alright guys, hello, Jack Kinsler here, the Atheist Wanderer. Today I'm going to be reviewing a comedian's stand-up bit, Brad Stein. And I don't know if a lot of you have heard of him. It's a very popular video, it has almost 2 million views. I think it's sitting around 1.7 million views. So most of you have seen it, but in case you haven't, I'm going to go ahead and play it while we're tearing it apart.
We got people that are so self-absorbed that just because their little thinking niche market isn't being represented, they want to freak. Atheists. It's the only ideology that just freaks me out, man. Atheists. Atheists wants under God taken out of the Pledge of Allegiance. You know why? It offends him. I'm like, dude, you're an atheist. You don't even believe God is real. How can he offend you?
Well, you see, the zinging problem that zinging atheists have with the zinging Christianity and zinging America is that kind of some kind of fucking speech impediment or something? Is there something wrong with how you're speaking, or do you think that's humorous and funny? Is it funny just to keep on inserting zinging into everything that you're saying? It's certainly not funny, and it comes off as being a bit of a speech impediment. Now the problem that atheists really have with Christianity in America is that it's Christianity in America. It's not just that we have a problem with every single religion in America. You'll notice oftentimes when atheists are speaking about religion, they're speaking about Christianity, because Christianity is the most mainstream and most influential religion in America. It influences, our day-to-day lives. It influences the kind of policies that get passed. It influences the kind of politicians which are able to even be elected in the first place. Because if you come out as being an atheist in your campaign run, that is fucking campaign suicide. So that's the problem that we have with them. We don't have a personal grudge. We can't have a personal grudge with him because he does not exist. But our problems lie within the fact that you guys are kind of breaching the separation between church and state. There's supposed to be a fine line. There's supposed to be a wall dividing church and state. And you guys are constantly trying to bring that down because you guys feel like your beliefs have jurisdiction over everybody's lives. You guys fail to realize that this is America. This is the land of the free. This is the land where all religions are allowed to prosper, not just yours. Just because you guys hold a majority does not mean that you guys have, fascist control over everything.
Who is more irrational? The guy that believes in a God he doesn't see, or a guy who's offended by a God he doesn't believe in? What else is freaking you out? Unicorns? Unicorns! Oh, they're saying the unicorn word in school. Run, run!
I noticed on your video there were some people comparing you to Bill Hicks. They were saying that you're nega Bill Hicks, you're the opposite of Bill Hicks. That would be a gigantic insult to Bill Hicks, even to suppose that you're like the nega Bill Hicks. Putting you in a similar vein with Bill Hicks is completely wrong. You're more like a sanctimonious Dane Cook.
Crying out loud, it's become ridiculous. I don't care what you think. We look at life and think it has purpose and meaning. We think that love is real and courage is real and nobility is real and honor is real. None of those ideas that I just told you that you believe is real is in matter. It's not in molecules. It's not material. It's transcendent. It's something beyond our humanness.
Actually, we can show how those things have come about. They are molecules and they are chemical compounds in the brain. Go ahead and turn off your brain for me. And, what kind of emotions do you feel? None, because your brain controls all the emotional complexes. It controls your entire thought process. It controls every aspect of who you are. Feeling in love, feeling brave, feeling courageous, those are all aspects of the brain function. So yes, science can explain those things, and we can explain how those traits have evolved over the years with, things like sociology. We can actually study how these things have progressed. There are a lot of things that we don't know about the brain right now, but we're still studying it to this moment. So it's not just like we don't know. It's not just like it's, mysterious molecules. We understand these kind of things, and every day we're unlocking new secrets of the brain.
something we couldn't have got to on our own, and certainly it wasn't evolved by evolution, because evolution says that whatever happens to survive is all that matters. That's all that matters, which means right and wrong doesn't exist. Culture just creates it as it goes. You gotta be kidding me.
No, I'm not kidding you. Right and wrong is decided by our culture and decided by society. All the laws that we hold now are based off of certain traits that we want. Humans have an inherent trait to preserve their survival because our goal in life is to procreate. You know, that's the necessity. That's why we're here. We're here to spread our genes and to procreate. Now, humans, because we have our higher logical and cognitive abilities, we've been able to make up different things. You know, say, oh, I want to be a painter. That's my life's goal. Or, oh, I want to be an astronaut. We have these life goals that we can set up in the parameters of the society which we have established. But at the end of the day, the pre-existing conditions were that we need to spread our genes. So it would make sense if we had a law that said, you know, don't kill each other because I don't want to be killed and you don't want me to kill you. And it would make sense if we had laws that protect against thieves because, you know, we don't want somebody to steal our house and to steal our food and to steal our life's works. You know, those are things that we need to keep close to us and secure. So it makes sense that these laws evolve with society. You know, a lot of the laws that we have now, like copyright laws, is that really a matter of morality? Is that really good and evil? No, it's decided between our society.
You see beauty and you see the majesty of creation, for crying out loud. You see God and his handiwork. Not that God. How can you not see that? Well, God is a crutch, yeah? Well, not believing in God is a coma.
We do see it. We see it every day. I can look at the beauty of the Grand Canyon, and so can you. You'll sit there and go ahead and supposit God as being the creator of the Grand Canyon. Meanwhile, we understand through science how the Grand Canyon was formed. Does that take away from how beautiful it is? Certainly not. It's a fantastic geological construct that we can observe and look at, and we can, you know, look at it in awe. You know, just to imagine the sheer amount of force and time that went into its, you know, inception. Now you just assume it was there, but science, we understand how it works, has taken a very long process, which is even more exciting and even more beautiful than just saying that some guy woke up in the morning and decided, oh, there's the Grand Canyon.
You don't see nothing. Anthony Flew, 50 years, one of the most famous philosophical atheists in the world, teaches at Oxford. One of the most influential atheist philosophers in the world, 30 books on it. Recently said he's a deist now. You know what was the convincing force to him? One of the most compelling convincing force? Intelligent design theory. By doctorates and double doctorates who say something must have done this, it couldn't have been by chance. He was convinced and became, after 50 years, a deist. Intelligent design theory, the same theory that a judge in Georgia said you're not allowed to teach kids because he's smarter than the atheist philosopher from Oxford.
Now, it's funny because when it's an atheist professor like Richard Dawkins, you guys immediately say, no, you can't, no, there's no truth, no, you know, anything to what he's saying because he's an atheist. But as soon as an atheist turns into a deist, or as soon as there's a Christian professor, you guys say, oh, well, that guy knows what he's talking about. You know, this is an appeal to authority. And atheists don't really do that. You know, we don't have this, you know, we don't go home and worship Richard Dawkins as a saint. I'm not wearing a Richard Dawkins or Christopher Hitchens pendant. These are people that I like to read, but are they saints? No, certainly not. So the whole thing with Anthony Flew doesn't hold up because Christians and theists are the only people who subscribe to sainthood in the fucking first place. Atheists don't do that kind of thing.
We got to be prepared, folks. Prepared to battle for our country's standards of morality. What is going to base the next generation?
What is going to base the next generation? Well, how about equality and freedom? How does that sound? Or is that too liberal for you? Is that too leftist and radical? Is the idea of having freedom of religion, is that something that's too fucking scary for you?
God or just matter? I don't know. But I say there's a whole bunch of people like us who aren't going away and want our country back, and will fight for it.
You want your country back. Your country? What do you mean, your country? Who are you? You're a Christian, so you're saying that all of America belongs to Christians and always has? That wasn't what was pre-stipulated in the Constitution. Are you saying that the Constitution just isn't right? They didn't know what they were talking about? Oh, if you read in between the lines, it says freedom of religion, but actually Christianity. Shh, guys, shh. Christianity is the real religion. No, it doesn't. You know, just because you guys are suppositing God into the state now doesn't mean that God was always there. You know, certainly a lot of the founding fathers were deists, but they understood how important secularism is for the, you know, for their society.
And that's what happened to me. That's what happened to me after all these years of working in comedy clubs throughout the country. I finally just decided I'm going to come out. I'm a conservative and I'm a Christian and I'm proud.
Whoa! A conservative Christian in America. Imagine that. Wow, how fucking radical that is. I'm sure he quivers in his boots every time that he goes out now. I'm sure that he's scared that a pack of atheists are going to come and beat the living shit out of him for being a conservative Christian in America. Wow. I can't even imagine a greater minority that is being threatened right now than Christians and conservatives in America. Did Mitt Romney take a note from you, or did you take a note from Mitt Romney? Because it seems like that's the same fucking thing that he was saying. So, were you like a campaign advisor or something, or was he the basis? Like, was he your inspiration? Did you watch him on TV and you said, you know what? I'm gonna come out too. I don't care who knows. I'm a conservative Christian, and I'm white in America, land of the free, home of the brave. Come on, dude. Fucking Jesus. How fucking ridiculous is that? You know, you're not being threatened. I know that there's this idea between conservative Christians that you're being threatened, you're the minority, but this is obviously not the case. Look around you for a minute. Go ahead and go online, go on Facebook, go outside and talk to people. Most people are Christians, and a lot of them are also conservatives. There's nothing weird or edgy or exciting about that. It's vanilla. It's the norm in America. And that's why atheists have such a problem with it, because it's the norm, but it's not even the norm, you know, as a personal aspect of somebody. It's the norm of politicians. It's the norm of our politics as well. And that's what atheists have the real problem is. You know, we don't, you know, while I would rather have a society devoid of religion where people could overcome that and be logical about their lives, at the same time I realize religion is not the biggest concern, but in politics it is the biggest concern. So that's one of the dumbest fucking comedians I've ever seen. I'm the Atheist Wanderer, Jack Kinsler. Go ahead and subscribe, like my video, and share it to people. I really appreciate you. You guys have been sharing my content, and you guys don't fucking realize how much that helps. I keep on getting subs all the fucking time, and it helps out a lot. So I appreciate it. Thank you, you guys, for sharing my content. Thank you so fucking much. I'm the Atheist Wanderer, Jack Kinsler. Peace!